Okay, so on the 1st of September, I'm racing a unsupported bikepacking ultra distance race in the south of Spain. It starts in Granada. It's called Badlands. It's about the 4th edition, and it's 791 kilometers, and it's predominantly off-road. So I'm going to do a little bit of a video talking about my setup, and yeah, looking forward to showing you guys the kind of setup I'm using, and potentially give ideas to anyone who's thinking of doing a similar kind of distance or event in the future. So starting on the bike, I'm going to talk about the bike, then the kind of almost finishing kit of the bike, accessories of the bike, the kit I'm going to be wearing, and nutrition, and all the bits and bobs that goes into organising yourself for a race that is unsupported and you need to be self-sufficient. So obviously preparation is really key for an event like this. So starting off with the bike, I have got the FiftyOne Assassin frame. This is a large, like a 56 frame I've been using this year, and I'm really getting on with it well. Obviously I've got the nice US Postal vintage paint job on there. And then we're going to go for the group set. I've got a mixture of SRAM RED and SRAM RED Explore. Or actually I've got XX1 on the back. So I've actually got a mullet set up. But yes, I've got SRAM RED shifters, SRAM RED crank set with the 40 tooth on the front. Then I've got the XX1 SRAM mountain bike rear mech with a 1050 on the back. So quite a big gear, perfect for the steep climbs. So I've done the event last year as a pairs category, finishing 7th overall and first pair in 45.5 hours with 40.5 hours moving time. And for sure the climbs are very steep at times. So I've got a bit of a dinner plate on the back, which is going to be a bit of a smaller total gear ratio than I actually had last year. So I'm looking forward to be able to spin a bit more on some of those technical, hard, long, steep climbs. So yeah, SRAM throughout for the kind of gearing. Then I've got the Zip 101 Explore wheels, which is the same weight as the 303 Firecrest, which I have been using this year in some of the other events I've been doing. It's the same weight as a 303 Firecrest, but it's a bit more subtle, and it can kind of handle kind of more mountain bike terrain, which is going to be common in a track this long, where the variety, the track does change a lot throughout the course. And then on that, I've got a front and rear tyre setup of the Schwaber G1R 45mm tyres. This is the tyres I've been using for about the last 14 months, and I've been getting on really well with. And yeah, I'm certain they can do the job. It's the same as I used last year, and in my opinion, I'm most confident on this kind of tyre. And then sticking with the wheels, I've got MilkIt valves and MilkIt sealant. Then I have also got an SN-Vitae bottom bracket. So I'll just spin it round just so you can see. I've got a pretty cool custom bottom bracket. So I've got a blue anodized bottom bracket on shell on the outside and a red one on the inside to match the kind of paint scheme of the bike, which is super nice, with my surname on it. So big thanks to SN-Vitae. Bottom bracket's definitely going to serve me well. On my SRAM RED chain, I've actually got it's going to be a wax chain done by 8 Co, who has amazingly assembled this bike for me, which makes a big difference. So you don't have to kind of be stressing about maintaining the chain for a large portion of the race, because running the wax chain stops all the stuff getting stuck to it, and it's perfect for an event like this, really, where there's going to be, it's such a long way. I mean, really it's, it could be 2 weeks worth of training in one go. So the bike's certainly going to pick up a lot of debris and a lot of dust and a lot of dirt. So minimising time having to clean your drive chain is a big help, really. especially as I'm looking to kind of minimise my stop time in this year's course. I've got the Time XC10 carbon pedals, so I've been using these pedals since Unbound, and yeah, really getting over them well. Super light, super easy to clip in. Then I've also got MilkIt toolkit. So in here I've just got kind of Allen key where you can change the ends for all the different sizes. You've got some spare chain links for my SRAM drive chain, tyre lever and chain brake. Then I've also got a plug that's ready to go. And lastly in here I have some scissors just to trim down the excess of a tyre plug, just to make sure it's nice and flush. So that's in my toolkit under the bottle cage, which fits super nice. I've also got a tool keg under the BB, and in here I have gravel size inner tube, Schrauber, 2 gas canisters, some spare plugs, and yeah, that's it really. Just the adjustable, just the thing to put the gas canisters onto the valve. So that's in my tool keg, which sits nicely under the bottom bracket. Then I have kind of finishing kit of the bike. I've got Physique bar tape with the Physique Argo Adaptive saddle, 3D printed saddle. I've got the Zip Carbon SL Speed stem in 100mm with 40cm Zip Service Course handlebars, which is what I've been using for about 2 years now. And I've got the Zip Carbon seat post with some Arundel carbon cages. I'll be running 2 800ml restrap bottles. I've got a 1.2 litre race pack from Restrap, which is the same as I used last year. And I've also got around, I think it's around 1.2 race top tube bag as well from Restrap on the top of the bag. This is kind of my storage setup. Then looking to the front of the bike, I have a K-edge mount which holds my Wahoo Roam. I have a fixture on the bottom which holds my exposure light, and this is the Exposure Zenith light. So I've got it in setting 3, which is going to have 3 hours on high, 10 hours on medium and 18 hours on the low setting. So quite a long lifespan for a light there, and it's not too heavy, it's super light, it's about 150 grams. I've got the Exposure React rear light. I'm not going to have to charge this during the race. The lifespan is so long, so that's perfect on the back. And more or less, that's going to be the setup in terms of things on the bike. So let me just stack this. Then to go into some details about the accessories and kind of general things I'm taking. So I'm going to start with kind of what I'm going to be doing for charging, etc. Battery based items. I'll start with that. So I've got a 10,000 milliamp Night Core power bank coming in at 150 grams, super light. I've seen it on Just Inas's story, where it was what he uses, potentially in a bigger size. This doesn't charge my exposure lights, so this is just going to have to charge my Wahoo and my phone. So I've got that. Then for the lights, I have a Anker 10,000 power bank with the exposure cable to charge the lights. So I'm looking just to ride through about 2 nights worth, maybe, and 2 nights and 3 days of riding. Spare SRAM battery with the cover on it. Some Apple earphones to listen to some music and some podcasts. And then I also do have a Dyna race plug tool, which has a small plug there and a bigger plug there, and also these unscrew. Say you use one side and then you can re-screw it in the other side. So there's 4 plugs in total at the moment fixtured into this tool. I'll also have this on my person, just so the hint of a puncture, I can quickly pull it out of either the top tube bag, my pocket, or the hydration vest, plug the puncture and keep moving. Also got some spare plugs as well, which I'll put into like a little jiffy bag. Then I also have some chamois butter sachets, prevent saddle sores, that's a big gain. I also have some zinc sun cream. This is quite popular among surfers, so it's a complete block. I've got the pink colourway, which I'll probably have on my cheeks and other areas that are definitely going to be able to catch the sun. I've got quite a recent bad scar from Unbound on my knee, which I'll probably have to put this on because it blisters in the heat. So I've got some of that. I've got some nutrition examples of what I'm going to be taking. So I have a double espresso 150 gram caffeine SIS gel, a Morton 160, that's got 40 grams of carb, SIS beta fuel strawberry and lime 40 carb, pink grapefruit SIS hydration tabs. It's going to be super hot, so super important to stay hydrated. And then I'll also be having some SIS beta fuel dual source energy drink, which is 80 per sachet. So there are some of the nutrition products I'm going to be taking. I haven't got the bars yet, but I'm probably going to be having some Sturka bar 50s. So predominantly I just want to have enough stuff to kind of get through that first 24-hour period until the shops open again about 8 in the morning on what will be Monday morning. And yeah, it's always good to have an emergency stash. So I'll definitely have some emergency beta fuel sachets on me. Then going towards the kit, which I'm going to have on my person, I have my Cask Protone helmet. There's some nice exposure stickers on there with the exposure light mount on top, which is simply just a plastic screw through, super lightweight. So basically when I've not got the light on, that's going to be 15 grams difference. So super important to keep the weight off your head when it's not necessary to be using a light. And in the night time I will be having on this exposure joystick head torch. I'll be using it as a head torch, which simply just clips in like that. So I think it's super important to have a head torch just so you can kind of look around a bit. So head torch on the top, it moves around, you can look round, especially when you want to be looking for stuff at night like water fountains, and for when you're descending you want to be able to look round the hairpin that you're taking so you can take your line and you can judge it safely. Especially when you're going to be low on sleep, you're going to need your focus might not be as good. So it's super important that you can see you know, changes in the track, which potentially the fixed light on the bike will be hard to pick up. And obviously again, you know, this is going to be up here, so it will give a different angle as well. So yeah, that's going to be super important. So the settings on that, I have it on setting 3, and that's going to have 3 hours on high, which is the same as the bike light, 10 hours on medium, which is the same as that on setting 3, but it also does have on the low setting 36 hours in low. So when I'm going to be climbing slowly, I'm probably just going to predominantly have this headlight on low setting, when I'm climbing at maybe, you know, anywhere between 8 and 12 kilometers an hour. That's what I'm going to have. So that's my helmet setup with the light. Shoes, I've got the Physique Proxy carbon composite, there's not a full carbon sole, with obviously time cleats, sorry. I've gone for the white pair. These are probably going to get worn out quite quick, but they're going to look good, especially at least for the first day. Super breathable. I'm not sure how easy it is to see, but you can. They're very see-through, lightweight shoe, which is going to be perfect for the heat conditions. Single boa, like I say, not full carbon sole. So when you're going to be doing some hiking or just being on the bike for, you know, 30, 40 hours, it's just not going to break your feet as much as a full carbon shoe, which is going to be pretty stiff. And in these shoes also, I have CDAS custom insoles, which are still going strong for about 16 months. Glasses, I've got some Oakley, the Sapphire I think they're called, photochromic lenses. So these change in the light. Super nice glasses. You're going to see everyone at the Paris Olympics using these. It's one of their latest models at Oakley. And then I've also purchased, last minute, out of preference, I have a glasses cable on the back. So when I'm climbing, or when I'm just, you know, off the bike and doing things and I'm not sure where I want to put my glasses, so if you don't want to scratch your glasses, these can just hang off the chest. So yeah, you're not going to be able to put the glasses down and get them scratched or anything like that. And when you're climbing, sometimes it's not always easy having them in the helmet, so or it's fiddly, so those can just hang off the chest nicely. So I've got that. Clothing, obviously I'm using Le Col. So clothing, quite a few items here. I'll start with the basics. The Col lightweight jersey, as you can see, pretty see-through, perfect for what's going to be really hot temperatures over there in Spain. So that's going to go perfectly. Also, you know, nice and visible. So that's the jersey. Shorts. I think these are all category 2 shorts, black and white. Big logo on the side. Using these in most of my events. These are a size small. Nice length on the on the short. We're using some of them. I'm going to be taking a few things on the actual trip itself, but I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to take for the actual race. So these are some examples. And then I've just got an inside out Le Col base layer, bit of a thicker base layer, because potentially during the day when it's so hot, I'm just going to have on the lightweight jersey, which basically doubles up. I mean, it's so you're not going to want a base layer, and the material itself is almost like a base layer. So I'll have that probably during the day, but potentially for the night riding, when you want to keep the core a bit warmer, I've got something I might take on the actual race itself is a kind of thicker base layer. Then I've got a soft shell jacket with kind of breathable side panels and underneath the arm, and it's going to be wind stopper and kind of shower resistant on the front, and just to keep off the wind. So the first night does go up to about 2,500 meters or so, so it's going to be chilly up there probably by the time you get up there, towards midnight. I've got a Le Col headband, Le Col neck buff. I've got some Le Col arm warmers, just plain black arm warmers. I've got some Le Col sunscreen arm covers, which block the sun. So I might just take them instead of the arm warmers themselves, just to keep the sun off you a bit, to stop getting cooked. I've got some mitts just to save my hands, white mitts, probably going to get trashed. And then I have a Lacole kind of like air cap, which I'll have under the helmet if I want, which I'm not sure, 100% sure if I'll take, but I'm going to take it on the trip itself for sure. And then I also have a neck cover. This is from Compression Sport, which you might see runners have a lot. So yeah, fabric on the back to cover the back of the neck, which I will give an example just while I'm here. So I'll either have the cap on or I won't have the cap on. But basically, put the helmet on. So when the sun's super hot and you want to keep the sun off your neck, you can simply put that round, and then yeah, you're covering the back of the neck from the sun and the side of your face, and just keeping a cool feel. So it's going to be a big factor in the race to stay cool. So that's what I've done before in an event. So I'm taking that with me as well. And that's kind of the clothing setup that I'm going to have, more or less. And then yeah, I've also got some chain wax squirt lube here just to top the chain up. I'll be charging predominantly from the top tube bag. And yeah, basically that's going to be my setup of all the bits and pieces I'm going to take. Personally, just some thoughts about the race now. So last year I'd done 2 ultra races, including Badlands. Heading back to Badlands now solo. Definitely going to be the direction I'm going to be heading next year in the ultra distance races, and I'm looking forward to the solo experience at Badlands and just seeing how efficient I can be on the trail by myself. This is going to be my 4th ultra distance race, and I think I've got the kind of base foundation now to really you know, put things on the line and give it a real nudge, and just to see how efficient I can be, how much I can push my body, and what kind of ride I can pull off. So I'm looking forward to the experience, and yeah, I'm sure I'm going to be able to do a nice ride, a super fast ride, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it really, getting stuck in. So big thanks to all the sponsors and all my partners, which has enabled me to do events like this with the support of them. Big thanks to 8BikeCo for always assisting, setting up the bike, getting it perfectly set up for me, always coming up with new little things to make life easier. For instance, this top tube bag is actually bolted on rather than going around the head tube, so it avoids marking the stem and also doesn't affect the steering as much because that is quite a tight cable. So yeah, big thanks to Glenn, who came to Tracker and Unbound with me. And yeah, looking forward to getting stuck in. So yeah, drop comments below. If you want to see anything else before I go, I can always get some more clips, or I can do some while I'm in Spain. If you're going to be in Granada, drop me a message and I can see you at Inscription. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to do a Badlands recap when I'm home from the event, and obviously I'll have everything that I've showed you back with me, and I'll talk through how that went and was I missing anything, etc, etc. The only thing I haven't showed in the video is my hydration pack. So I'm going to be running a Solomon hydration pack, just because it's super lightweight and it's what I've been using actually most of my events. So I'm going to stick with that with a 1.5 litre in the back. So yeah, big thanks to all the sponsors really, and I'm looking forward to doing a nice ride, using the kit to the best of my ability, and hopefully the legs won't let me down. Thanks for watching, see you soon.